Okay, so this video is going to be for sleeping posture. So this is obviously something that is quite difficult to maintain, being that you are, at least the goal is for you to be unconscious and asleep. So what you really want to focus on is posture throughout the day and trying to get good carryover. But what you can use to piggyback off of that is to try to consciously set up your posture before you fall asleep, to remind your brain of where you should be or how you should be holding your body. So you want that muscle memory to take effect and take hold while you are sleeping. So everybody has a position or maybe several where they find comfort at night, and they usually, even if they don't start off that way, they end up in that position. And that's where it becomes a challenge, especially if that position is seemingly causing problems or causing harm, because your brain, at least subconsciously, is not recognizing that in a way that it's correcting those behaviors on its own. So again, we want to be able to think about our posture throughout the day, and as far as like not replicating those same patterns that are probably working against us when we're sleeping, and also trying to use those strategies that we're trying to do throughout the day to set yourself up right before you fall asleep to get that more immediate recall and set the tone of your body and your brain before you actually do fall asleep. So that hopefully, and with more practice, this should become more the case that you'll be able to sustain that because it will be more or better integrated into your nervous system. So even those parts that are the subconscious parts, which is really what you want, because you can't possibly be awake and asleep at the same time. So here we go. So think about like posture, I guess, like here, like that whole idea of like pulling in, pistoning back, scooping, lifting, right? The shoulder blades pulling back down, and then the serratus kind of scooping and lifting here. So we want to just try to get ourselves in a little bit of that, through our torso into that more tube shape. Ribs are anchored, right? Chest is up and forward, and feel that all come together. So lying down is obviously a little bit different. Okay. So for one, you don't have to deal with gravity in the same way. However, if you're a side sleeper, you're probably going to end up rolling here. So a body pillow can be helpful in keeping your elbow more up forward. You can try a thin pillow here, keeping your elbow more back. Just do be aware that if you're doing that you're not ending up like twisted like back that way. So you do maybe even want both, like a pillow, a small pillow under here, body pillow here, and that way you won't find yourself back in that position. If you're on your side, you want to be kind of more straight on your side, maybe slightly angled back so you're not completely on here. Again, body pillow, you could be here and be more supported and not like scrunch rolled over here, your head like up like this. So with the postural elements, you want to think about that kind of scoop lift. And even here, if you find yourself scrunching on the top or the bottom, usually I imagine, well, it could be either, but also make sure your pillow is not too high, like you'd be scrunched up top, or too low, be scrunched down here. So you want to be more neutral, your spine neutral, and you want to think scoop and lift, chest, anchor the ribs, hips back, kind of piston those back. Thighs are kind of in, not squeezing actively, but maybe a pillow here if you need it, especially for women because women have wider hips. Try to keep that more neutral there. Neutral here, not rolled over, scrunched that way, not twisted back that way too much, but kind of here supported like that. But think about your posture, reset your posture, and try to relax into that so you don't feel like you're holding yourself there, but rather just getting there and just allowing yourself to stay there and relax into that position. On your back, same thing. So the problem with being on your back is if you have tight hip flexors, it will pull your back into a bit of an arch like this. So maybe a small pillow under the knees, just a slight bend will take some of that slack away. If you really have a lot of problems, like some people like to sleep with their legs up, putting a bigger like bolster or something can be helpful. Just be mindful that you have to be relaxed in that position, or you might wake up with tight hip flexors because they're shortened, like someone who sits all the time they would be. Same thing here. I'm going to think about that, kind of turning those wheels, anchoring those ribs. Lift the chest is really the big one, especially if you're in neck and shoulder issues. Really to scoop and lift and then relax into it. But you want to feel like that's more open and you have space in your neck and your chest is there, your shoulder blades are back out of the way, and then relax into it. Here or there, okay? Stomach sleeping is really not really advised. I mean, I know some people have a lot of trouble where they can't not stomach sleep, but that usually does cause a lot of problems. Even if you had a hole in your table or bed, like the table here, you can see behind me, you know, that's okay for a short period of time, but most people get really full in their sinuses and things when they lay flat like that. So even that's not great for most people. And that's about it.